Welcome, dear friends. How are you all? Friends, today we are going to watch Die Alone, but today I will not tell you the intro. Sometimes it happens, right? At the beginning of the movie, we see a boy named Dan who is sitting very upset and depressed. Ether suddenly shoots himself in the head, and with this the story goes to the past. Now, why did Dan take such a step, and what is going on in his mind? Now let's come to the past when Dan is with his girlfriend Emma. He is going somewhere in a car with Emma. Then suddenly I don't know what happens to Dan. He feels like fainting again and again. With great difficulty, Emma manages to handle him. But then suddenly a very bad accident happens to him. The scene cuts here, and in the next scene we see Ethan coming out of the car with a plaster on his hand. Emma's name is written on it. He sees that Emma is nowhere around. Ethan is calling out Emma's name. When he starts searching for it, he sees that now everything has been destroyed and there is no trace of any human being around. In fact, all this happened because of an unknown virus. Now, what is this virus? What is it like, and how does it happen? We will get to know that the world has ended with the story of the movie. Currently, when Dan is searching for Emma by shouting her name, he comes across a man who has a big car and a gun. So that man kills Dan. Seeing this, he asks if you are lost, but as soon as he asks this, bullets start firing there. Seeing the bullets being fired, the man also fires, and seeing this, Ethan hides, but his driver along with the man gets injured in this exchange of fire. They are killed, and the act of killing them is done by a middle-aged woman named Ethan, who comes and first of all looks at both of them and checks whether they both are dead or not. Then she sits inside the car and checks Ethan. Ethan starts doing this and tells her that I am not with them. I am just lost and looking for my girlfriend Emma. Instead of asking anything else from Ethan, she asks for help in picking up both their bodies, but then Ethan again becomes unconscious, and along with the dead bodies of both of them, May has to load them in the car and leave for her home, where after a long time of reaching, then regains consciousness and meets May downstairs. Again, I ask her, are you okay now? Also, she was cooking food for herself, and then she asks again, tell me one thing. What is the last thing you remember? Then tells that I and Emma were in a car. We were going towards some lake where we found an empty cable, and we stopped there, but what happened after that I can't remember. Emma would still be waiting for me in the same cabin, but this outside, all this what has happened now, this unknown person, why is it so deserted here? And then she just says that perhaps this is nature's way of taking its revenge on humans. Meanwhile, due to a fault in the network, the power goes out, which I have to repair again. She goes out, but when she does not return for a long time, Ethan also goes out to check at this place. Nothing was visible except green grass fields and trees and plants. When Ethan sees the generator I had tied up, May tells him not to go near him. It is very dangerous. Then Ethan sees the generator and immediately repairs it, which is a matter of great joy for May. Both of them eat food, etc. And when it gets night, then sees that I am listening to some song, and at the same time, seeing then, she also starts dancing, however, then does not like this, so I play a card game with her, but then is a little crazy in this game. He is also not interested. He just wants to find his girlfriend Emma. He says, look, thank you very much for giving me shelter and food here. It is very important for me to go. Now I say, keep in mind that if you go anywhere at night, there will be danger. There will be danger. So let it be morning. Both of them will go together in the morning. But Ethan was not going to believe that after sleeping at night. He secretly takes the car and leaves to find Emma. On the way, he faints several times and has some flashbacks, but somehow he reaches the same cabin where he had gone with Emma, but here he finds Emma. Instead, a woman and her child are found, who are hiding here in this situation. Now this woman is telling about herself to this woman, when suddenly a strange zombie tries to enter their house. Looking at the zombie, it seems as if it is a walking tree. Its face is very strange, and leaves of trees and bushes, etc., are growing on its body. With great difficulty, the trunk takes it out from there, but somehow the zombie again catches the woman. Now seeing this, then attacks the zombie's head several times, due to which he finally leaves the woman. After this, the woman puts her children to sleep and tells them that there is no one here. Emma is not there. I have been living here for several weeks, and now you forget about Emma. My husband also got infected with this virus, which ultimately had to kill me, and his son is still waiting for him. That Papa will come. Ethan tells that nothing would have happened to Emma. She was a doctor. We both loved each other very much. Our life was going very well. Suddenly we did not know what happened. What kind of virus has spread? We do not know that people were alive and walking. Tell me. They are turning into trees which are attacking other people and affecting them too. 436. They cannot be killed even if you hit their head or do anything else because after some time they become alive again. All this, seeing something, I and Emma thought of finding a safe place, but suddenly I don't know what happened. She suddenly disappeared somewhere and I am still looking for her. After saying that, Ethan sees that the zombie he had killed gets up again and walks outside. Now this woman tells them to sleep for some time. After some time, then suddenly wakes up and sees that it is morning, and she is drunk with blood, along with that woman and her child. The dead bodies of those who were killed by the zombies are also lying there. When Ethan stumbles out, he sees a zombie girl who suddenly attacks Ethan. Then I come there and shoot that girl, due to which the zombie girl becomes a little unconscious for some time. We come to know about the S unconsciousness and his amnesia E. Then she tells him again her name, and also then her car. He had brought it, so she doesn't say anything even about this thing. During that time, then finds Emma's mobile in a birdhouse which had her last video, and she is telling in the video that then if you are watching this then meaning I am not alive. The situation has become very worse and your amnesia is also getting worse. As soon as I say this, the battery of the phone goes off, and seeing this, then starts screaming, and then I calm him down. And she says, look, you go to my house. There's a charger there. You charge the phone and then watch it completely. Then she takes Ethan on the bicycle and goes to May because now there is no fuel in May's car. Both of them quickly reach home, but May senses someone's presence, and as soon as she sees him, she immediately points the gun at that man. This unknown man raises his hands and tells his name Tom. He also tells that he is here while searching for his wife, has arrived who has been missing for about 10 days. First, when I knock on the door, no one answers. So I go inside, then after seeing Tom, she asks Medhan to search him, during which she finds an empty gun near Tom. Tom had come here in search of shelter and food, to whom both of them provide food and shelter. But in return, they make him do some work, during which Tom asks them about him. Then he picks up a gun on the pretext of going to the toilet and shoots himself. Keeps close, which he was hidden. And now when the turn comes to eat, I tell them that you should refuse to eat because I have mixed something in the food for this. This man is definitely feeling strange to me, then also obeys me and eats. Tom refuses and eats very well the food in which I had mixed the anesthetic. Now, before the medicine could take effect, then once again becomes unconscious on his own, seeing which he points the gun at Tom and says that I know that you have done something with my wife. There is something that you are hiding. On this I tell Tom that soon this medicine will affect you and you will become unconscious. After saying this, Tom is stressed. She makes him unconscious by hitting him with a knife, after which the scene is cut. And at this point, then his eyes open and he sees there, apart from Tom, his two companions who had brought Tom to consciousness, and also they had killed me. Tom is kept tied and tells him that this woman must have taken the life of my wife and your girlfriend, and we will know about this by searching inside. Tom leaves the other two people to keep an eye on May and goes inside the room. When he goes with Ethan to search there, Tom finds IDs of many people and other things, and Ethan also finds Emma's locket, which makes him a little emotional after seeing it, while the two guys keep an eye on them. One of them goes outside to look in the storeroom, where after breaking a table, he finds a man who is lying on the bed and is also affected. That man runs back in fear of this unknown man. He runs towards the other side and gets trapped in a trap set by May, and a thin string is pulled on his leg, causing the storeroom to catch fire with a blast. The guy is killed on the spot. After witnessing this, the other guy goes to the same skeleton and gets eaten by the zombie. This is the same person whom I had kept tied to the trees outside. On this side, Ethan asks May what she did with Emma. In response, she says that he will not be able to understand, and after saying this, she starts crying. Now Tom tells him that he has killed all the people whose things they found inside, and now then should also die. Saying this, Tom shoots at him with May's gun, but May uses the gun to stop it. The gun was made so that it would fire backwards, not forward, and because of this, Tom's hand goes up due to the bullet. Seeing this, May quickly frees herself, but during this time, Ethan suddenly gets hit. What happens next is that he pounces on Tom and, like the zombies, starts eating Tom raw. Actually, what happened here was that whenever Then was unconscious, during that time, he would turn into a zombie and kill people. Even the child and his mother were not killed by Van. In fact, the injection of them was hidden inside his hand, which was always plastered. Van was very sad after knowing the truth because, due to the infection, he also turned into a zombie. And this had been going on for a long time, but for how long we will soon find out. After this, then becomes unconscious. When his eyes open the next morning, he finds himself in front of May. This time, then has also forgotten everything about what he did last night. He doesn't even remember May's name. Then she tells them her name again and says that they have nothing to eat and they need to go hunting. She says, "I am your friend," and at this point, then remember some bits and pieces of his past, which I will explain in simple terms. Actually, once when then stopped at a gas station with Emma, Emma was attacked by a zombie. Ethan saved Emma by shooting, but could not save himself because after some time, the zombie got up and bit Dan's hand. After that, Emma shot several times, but by then, Ethan was affected. This zombie virus turns a person into a living dead, but if the affected person is given its dose, i.e., if he starts eating living humans for food, the infection stops. Every day, when he eats a human being, his memory comes back, although only for a short time. This also keeps the zombie young. Emma chose to cure Ethan's condition because she was also a doctor and thought she could feed him humans until the infection was healed. She took it upon herself to find humans for Ethan. Emma was blinded by love. She took then and went to the house of a man named Khan, who was living in these circumstances with his wife and daughter. There, Emma demands food from Khan for herself and Nan. Khan first asks them to take off their clothes, so he can check if they are affected. At that time, Khan made a big mistake. He did not pay attention to Dan's plastered hand. Dan and Emma went inside, but when they sat down to eat, then became ill. Emma took him upstairs on the pretext of going to the washroom, which raised doubts in Khan's mind. Emma came upstairs, explaining to Ethan that they had to do this. She distracted Khan, while Khan pointed the gun at Emma, asking his wife and daughter to go out. But both of them went out. Instead of going upstairs, they heard some strange sounds. A fight started between Khan and Emma, in which Emma got hurt on her face, but she shot and killed Khan. Meanwhile, Khan's wife and daughter reached upstairs and had to face Ethan's evil form. He killed both of them in one fell swoop. When Ethan remembered everything, he cried because he never wanted to do this. The story comes back to the present when then has remembered all of this. He asks May if she is Emma. May replies yes, meaning that for a long time, she had been Emma only for her love for Dan. She had sacrificed so many people so that she could keep Ethan alive by feeding him human food every day. She also cooked human blood and meat for Ethan to eat. But now, she had grown fat after doing all this. However, due to the infection, Ethan's age did not grow. When Ethan learns the truth, he shoots himself in the head to kill himself. This is the scene we saw in the beginning, but as we know, Ethan is a zombie, so he cannot die. He then stands up and Emma stops him. She kisses him after a long time. Emma had surrendered herself to Ethan, who was remembering the moments spent with her. Ethan makes Emma his victim, and in the final scene of the movie, both of them are seen as zombies holding each other's hands, moving forward together. And with that, friends, this love zombie movie ends. See you in the next video. If you liked it, please like it and keep it in mind. Thanks for watching.